Instant match reaction, Fulham 2, Everton 3 at Craven Cottage. Carlo Ancelotti's Everton picking up all 3 points, but we made hard work of that, didn't we? A real game of two halves today. The first half, we're barring the goal that we conceded in the defensive mistake, we were very good. We were getting the ball forward, we were creating opportunities. It took us 42 seconds to realise how much we've missed Richarlison over the last 3 games. That directness, picking the ball up, getting into the opposition's box, getting the ball across. There was some fantastic one-touch football, and ultimately we scored 3 goals and probably could have had another 1 or 2, with that one-touch football and playing that well. And we go in at half-time after, like I said, what was, I'd probably say, a dominant first half performance, to be honest. Don't get me wrong, Fulham, when they scored, they come into the game a little bit, they grew in confidence and they started to get at us. And like I said, the goal we conceded was dreadful defensively. Yerry Mina had a shocker today, had an absolute stinker. Michael Keane wasn't much better. Again, we've got a real issue defensively. It seems like, we're conceding 2 goals a game against anybody. It doesn't matter who we play, you can almost guarantee Everton will concede at least 2 goals. And that makes things really difficult, because if we want to be a team that are challenging for the European place, forget Champions League, forget top 4, if we want to be a team that are fighting for a place in the Europa League, we simply cannot be going into every game needing to score 3 goals. It's alright today playing against the Fulham side, who again, haven't really got that quality. No disrespect to Fulham, they'll probably feel very aggrieved after that game. They'll think that they deserved a lot more out of it, and rightly so. To be honest, they had about 90% possession in the second half. I can't remember us touching the ball in any real attack or getting forward or trying to create anything in the second half, and that's exactly what it was. We went in, after the first half, and again, like I said, barring the defensive mistake for the goal, it was quite comfortable. We were getting the ball forward, we were creating a lot of chances. Richarlison could have had a couple as well. He could have had one early on in the first half, within a minute of the first half as well, where the free kick comes in, he wraps his foot on it and the keeper makes a good save. He missed one in the first half where the ball comes across the box and him and Dominic Calvert-Lewin just completely miss it. But then we come out for the second half and it was just a completely different Everton performance, and a very disappointing Everton performance as well, because when you look at how dominant we could play and how well we could play when we got the likes of James Rodriguez on the ball, when we gifted the ball to Richarlison, when we played Dominic Calvert-Lewin in, another 2 goals for Dom today. Could have had an hat-trick easily. 13 goals in 11 games for him. You give the ball to him and he will score. He will put those opportunities away. But the second half just felt very much like the last 3 games, where we were giving no service to Dominic Calvert-Lewin whatsoever. We were holding back, we were scrapping, we were scrambling, and we were just trying not to concede. And ultimately, they got a penalty, and as soon as they got that penalty, I knew whether they'd scored it or missed it, I knew we were going to concede at some point after that penalty. They missed it, and it's the first thought in my head, and again, this is a mentality thing that needs to change. We cannot be going to sides, again, no disrespect to Fulham, but we cannot be going to sides who are 17th in the league, won 1 game this season. A lot of people from the first 2 or 3 games said that they're destined to go down already. We cannot be going away to teams like that and just gifting them chances and saying, here's the ball, you come at us, and we'll sit back and scramble to get it out. Again, as soon as we conceded that penalty, which I think is a penalty to be fair, Ben Godfrey makes a connection with the lad's legs, he goes down. As soon as he missed it, I thought, we're still going to concede here. This isn't going to flip the game on its head. We're not going to think, fucking hell, we got away with one here, let's get back on the ball and go and play like we did in the first half. You just knew that they were going to continue to press, and ultimately within 2 minutes of them missing the penalty, they'd scored and put us under unnecessary pressure for the last 20 minutes of the game. How that game ended 3-2, I'll never know, to be perfectly honest with you, but that second half was abysmal. It was absolutely abysmal, and considering we created so much in the first half, considering we could have had 4 or 5 easily, and okay, the first half wasn't perfect. Again, we're conceding stupid goals. The second half was shocking, absolutely shocking, and again, we had a bit of a crash down to earth over the last couple of weeks or so prior to the international break, with the defeats to Newcastle and Man United and Southampton, and those discussions about finishing in the top 4 and stuff were sort of put at ease a little bit. And Martin Keown was asked, and I'm not a big fan of Martin Keown, I think he chats a lot of crap, but Martin Keown was asked just before the end of the game, do you think Everton are challengers for the top 4? And he said no, not really. I think they'll push for top 6. And looking at that, you can't disagree with him. You can't say realistically that Everton, a team going into games conceding an average of 1 or 2 goals every game, can challenge for the top 4 place. Like I said, you'll get away with it when you're playing Fulham and you've got that freedom where you can create chances all day and you can score. You won't get away with that against sides that are fighting in the the top end of the Premier League, because they won't concede 3 goals. look, ultimately, it wasn't good enough in that second half. But, you know, you can't really complain too much. 3 points is 3 points. We've won the game. I don't want to sit here and be negative Nancy and be all cry ass and we were this, we were crap, we were awful. We've won the game, and ultimately, I said it before the game. I said it as the game started, and I'll say it now. I don't care how we win as long as we get 3 points. Yes, I'd have loved us to go out and score 7 or 8 today and keep a clean sheet and absolutely blow them out the park and have people thinking, you know, Everton are back now. This is a dominant performance. But ultimately, sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes you just need to win games by the scrape of your teeth, and you just need to go out and get the 3 points, and that's what we done today. Ultimately, it wasn't the most inspiring Everton performance, but maybe that win was all we needed to kickstart our run of form again. Now, obviously, we've come off the back of 3 really poor defeats, and you know, maybe we just needed the 3 points, and then maybe we'll see a better Everton performance within the next couple of weeks or so. But one thing is for absolute certain, defensively, we need to work massively. Going forward, I think we're fine. I think James Rodriguez sort of dipped off in the second half and became a little bit quiet. Dominic Calvert-Lewin for me was man of the match, absolute man of the match, closely followed by Alex Iwobi. I thought Alex Iwobi was fantastic today. There's a lot of people that criticise Alex Iwobi. There's a lot of people that don't like him. If you're an Everton fan and you've watched that game and you try and tell me Alex Iwobi had a poor game, then you haven't watched the game practically. I thought he was brilliant today. There was a couple of chances where he rushed the decision making a little bit, but the defensive work he had to do, he done well. You know, pretty much every goal we can see that come down the left-hand side, which obviously wasn't the side he was on, and going forward, he put some really good balls into the box. He had a big part to play in the second goal as well. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, like I said, 2 fantastic goals. Had the ball in the net for the third, but obviously it was offside. Richarlison, again, quieting down a little bit in the second half. Don't think he should have been taken off for Sigurdsson. I honestly don't see what Sigurdsson brings to this football club. I don't just want to sit here and go in on one player, but I honestly think that we'd be better sticking the workman in who was working on Fulham's new stand. I think we'd have been better taking his hazmat suit off, taking his helmet off, and said, go ahead, you go and fit in there and come on for Richarlison, because Sigurdsson just offers nothing, absolutely nothing. But attacking wise, we were very good, certainly in that first half. Defensive wise, we were poor again. We're conceding stupid goals. We're gifting opportunities away again in the second half. We didn't do much going forward, but we're still putting ourselves under unnecessary pressure defensively. The midfield was hot and cold for me today. There was part of the game where I thought Alan was brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and there was other parts where I thought he just was off the ball a little bit and he just wasn't where he needed to be. Decore, similarly, Decore got his goal today, first goal in an Everton shirt, and that's what you need more from Abdoulaye Decore. You need him to be that player that if Dominic Calvert-Lewin isn't on the end of an header and Richarlison isn't on the end, Abdoulaye Decore needs to be that player on the end of the header, and he was today, and it was a very good goal, very well worked goal. Another 2 assists for Luca Dean as well. But like I said, you know, considering we started the game perfectly within the first 42 seconds, we're 1-0 up, and you're thinking, right, go and get a second, go and get a third, go and absolutely kill this game off now. We didn't. We allowed Fulham back in, as we usually do, with a silly goal, easy goal to concede, one touch play. They get through, they put it in the back of the net. We're too easy to play through, and it's really frustrating because at the start of the season, when we brought Alan and Decore in and we had Gomez in there in the first couple of games, we looked like we were a very difficult team to play against. We looked like we were a very difficult team to break through. Defensively, we were structured, we'd done our job, and the midfield didn't let anything get past them. Whereas in the last few games, it just seems far too easy to break through us. It just seems far too easy to get in behind and to create chances. And if Fulham had maybe a little bit of more quality today, if they had maybe a little bit more composure about them, then that game might have been a different result. You know, if they finished the penalty for a start, then it might have been a completely different result as well. But again, like I said, we started really, really well, concede a stupid goal, and then we sort of take the game by the horns. Then we start, you know, attacking really well, bringing the ball forward, nice one-touch passes, nice playing on the flanks. So Iwobi, like I said, was fantastic for me. Richarlison getting the ball and being direct with it. Dominic Calvert-Lewin finishing his dinner every time. James Rodriguez was getting in the game, and in the second half was just completely consistent. James didn't have anything going forward and was just becoming a liability, let's be honest. Defensively, I love the lad. I think he's absolutely brilliant, and I think going forward he's one of the best footballers on the planet. But as soon as you put him in a defensive position and ask him to do defensive work, he gets the ball. He nicked the ball a couple of times and he done well, but he gave the ball away a couple of times as well, which ultimately led to the penalty being conceded. Again, Dominic Calvert-Lewin was doing all he could, picking the ball up. You know, in the last 10 minutes, Dominic Calvert-Lewin was getting the ball lumped up to him, and he was expected to head it up, control it, take it and move it, and he basically expected to create his own chances for him. Obviously, Richarlison went off. He was quiet in the second half. Iwobi adopted a more defensive position. The midfield were just getting bombarded. And defensively, again, you could say we done well to hold out and not concede the third, but the fact that we conceded 2 goals against the side that have struggled to score goals this season just shows that there's a lot of work to be done. A lot of work to be done there. But look, we won the game. Ultimately, we got the 3 points. We can't sit here and moan too much. A lot of Evertonians today will go, you know what? We got the 3 points, move on. And maybe that's all we needed. Maybe next week we'll see a completely different Everton performance against Leeds. Maybe we'll see a structured defensive performance. Carlo come out in the pre-game press conference of this game and said, don't worry about Richarlison and what we've missed not having Richarlison there. Worry about how bad we've been defensively. We need to fix that. And I think it'll be a very similar conversation after today's game. We need to fix that defensive, those defensive frailties and those defensive issues. I don't mean it. Again, for me, Mina's too inconsistent. He's too inconsistent to play week in, week out. Godfrey done okay, but you can see he's out of position playing right back. Dean got caught a couple of times on that left-hand side as well. Keane isn't expected to do it all. But you know what? We won the game. We got 3 points. And like I said, if it come off someone's arse in the last second and we won, that's all that matters for me. Talking about the performance, it wasn't great. Fulham had most of the ball in the second half. Fulham had a period of 15-20 minutes in the first half where they were the better team, but ultimately it doesn't matter because we come away with the 3 points. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you have enjoyed, please do hit that like button. It does only take a second. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe as well. We'll be back with the player rating shortly and Callum's instant match reaction as well. Big thanks for watching and we'll see you soon.